Alright, welcome to Quarantinis for January. It is now February. It's been a bit of a shit show here in January. Unlike being child-free and being in lockdown, you have far less time at home if your kids are home. Love them so much, but yeah, bit of a shit show. Anyway, into it. Hops to home for January. Let's go. Okay, first up from Shifty Lizard Brewing, we have their cold IPA. Coming in at 6%. That'll do before I fuck it up. Beautiful amber colour, maybe a little bit lighter than typical IPA, maybe not. Nice creamy, crunchy looking head on it with some big bubbles. So, the cold part in the cold IPA, they've been kind of coming into fashion over the last year, 6 months or so, and made their way to Australia. Basically, they're using malts that are going to give it a lighter body and a bit of a lighter feel and taste, as well as lager yeast, which isn't super uncommon in ales. They'll still brew it at an ale temperature, so it's still brewed at warm temperatures, and also it's dry hopped after fermentation, which a lot of IPAs are now anyway. So what that does is it gives it a bit more of a clean, crisp feel like you would get in a lager, as well as some of those lagery notes towards the end of the taste on the back of your tongue. So you do get those really lagery kind of notes on the nose there. It's not nearly as fruity and citrusy as a lot of IPAs are. And to taste, it's a really full-bodied flavour, but just cuts off a little bit cleaner. And yeah, it's just got that lagery hint to it. So if you do love lager, and the really boisterous IPAs put you off, find this one from Shifty Lizard. It is a Hops to Home exclusive early release, and I believe it's going to be out to the rest of the world. So yeah, get your hands on it, especially if you know someone who loves lagers and you want to get them into IPAs so you can share more delicious beers. Find them one of these. It's a really good mix. Next beer. From Tallboy and Moose, we have the Moonray Cold XBA. Bit of a pattern going on for January's Hops to Home. We've got a few cold beers. Believe it's the same story as with the cold IPA from Shifty Lizard. It will be a lighter malt to give it a lighter body. It'll be dry hopped at the end, still brewed at ale temperatures, but with a lager yeast just to give it that kind of lagery hints and feels. So this one came out beautifully citrusy, quite tropical, very hazy, hints of lemon and mango on the nose. The best way I'd describe it would be like a very nice citrus lager. So again, probably a pretty good entry point to someone who doesn't love the real hefty, tasty beers. Next beer. From Cheeky Monkey Brewing Co., we have their XPA. Classically named, nice and easy to identify. This one is citrus, clean and fresh. It is very much as it says on the can. Really drinkable. It actually poured a little bit darker than I expected, but very sessionable. Comes in at 1.4 standard drinks. It is very citrusy, very clean, and yeah, very smashable to be fair. 4.8%, and it is from Margaret River. Lovely spot down there. It is uncomplicated, on point. Just a good, smashable summer XPA. Next beer. From Aether Brewing in Queensland, we have their Deep Space Hazy Pale Ale. This one poured a very pineapple-y, beautiful colour, pretty hazy. It's very hoppy, not very bitter. It's a hazy, so it's beautiful and sweet and smooth. Had a lemony citrus sweet smell to it, and to be honest, it was a lot smoother than I thought it would be based on the colour. Based on the colour, I thought it might be a little bit thin, a little bit watery, but it had plenty of volume to it. Yeah, really smooth mouthfeel, touch of passion fruit, hint of mango, full of flavour. Really nice, drinkable, hazy. And this one does come in at 1.5 standard drinks, so what's that? Yeah, 5.2%. Really good, really enjoyable. Love the can art too. Next beer. From Hope Brewery in the Hunter Valley. From Hope Brewery in the Hunter Valley, we have the 7% Blood Orange NEIPA. This one is a Hops to Home collaboration. Once again, it's an early release one, so it will be going out public after it's exclusively released to Hops to Home members. This one poured a little bit lighter yellow than I expected. I think I was expecting really deep, dark, rich, blood orange color to it, but it was a bit more of a lighter yellow, and it had a really, really strong blood orange aroma to it. So, as expected. Definitely had that full mouth feel of that kind of blood orange bitterness around it, as well as the smoothness from the IPA. So pretty interesting mix. Very good friend who tried this with me said he couldn't quite pinpoint it. Ah yes, it tastes like an old dish sponge. But I really liked it. I couldn't get that image of that taste out of my head, and did keep going back to it, but I did really enjoy this beer regardless. Yeah, I think that's more the bitterness of the blood orange, and Andy, up your game, man, come on.